Hello and welcome to Nice Nick's documentaries. Today I just want to chat about documentaries, have a wee bit of drink. They give you a small window into someone else's world, because every day I pass people and I'm thinking, what's their story? How, like why they're wearing the clothes they are, how they think about the coronavirus outbreak right now, what does their family think of the coronavirus right now, kind of culture do they have? I want to know what everyone's doing. I want to know the world. I want to know what's happening in Mexico right now, just because. I used to freak out people by saying, I wonder how many people right now are drinking across the world. Millions of people in Mexico, millions of people in Japan, all drinking. I wonder how many people now are having sex at the moment. Millions of people, you know. And then it would get worse. I'd be like, how many people are getting kicked out of their house right now? But yes, so I want to know. I want to live 10 lives, 20 lives. I want to be like the Buddhist, have come back again and again and live many lives, but I can't. I've only got these eyes to see the world. It's so limited. I'm sitting here in a tiny wee country with very tiny wee minded people, and I have a nice group of friends, which are people that I'm very lucky to have, and they're you can talk to them about anything. Experimental conversation. I love playing the conversation because it's one of the only things that I'm not limited at. I can't really read or write, so I like the fact that I can sort of just play. It's the same as whenever different musicians are jamming. They're like having the instruments playing with each other, and well, we're not really playing with each other in that sense, but you know what I mean. Talking to each other, but like it's talk is play, so we're just sort of like talking in rhythms and beats and everything, and it's nice. It was like that thing in the '60s about beat poetry and stuff, and about like trying to get to your higher consciousness. Because for some reason, though, all I want to say is every person in the world's life, right? Because it's interesting, and all I want is to try and change the world somehow. And in my mind, you can change the world with a documentary, because loads of the stuff that I know, I'm just repeating what I've learned in documentaries. It's really good for self learning because you don't need a degree to watch a documentary. You don't need to be able to read. You don't need to be even really that interested in the subject. You just need half an hour and to be interested in facts, and you get a real high of information. I love learning stuff, but I can't control what my brain learns. I can only learn stuff that my brain decides to learn. Like if I actually say to myself, I'm going to revise all this, my brain won't learn. But if I say I'm going to watch this silly documentary on cats in where was it? Turkey, where all these people in Turkey feed these stray cats because it said that Muhammad uh, didn't move a cat beside the fireplace. He cut the carpet around the cat, and so that it's like a big thing in the Muslim religion. Also, it's like a Turkish thing, and it causes like it gives a lot of these people living in this really crazy city a lot of well-being. So much so that in this outbreak, they actually are still feeding these wild cats because it's a moment. It's a moment you can be totally present with an animal because the animal lives totally in the present. So it's a moment that you can just forget about what you're doing and just do an act of kindness and be in the present, which is really valuable. So I watched that. I remember loads of that, and I was like, I wish I could harness that, to remembering something that could have got me a degree, maybe a job. But it's hard because you figure to yourself, what is it? One can't know all the knowledge. I just want to know it all. God, the knowledge is class. And it's so interesting. But I love whenever I bump into someone else that's watched the same documentaries as me. I'm just like, you watched Adam Curtis as well? You've seen this as well? I'm like, have you seen this? And they're like, no, mate, write this down right now. And then you get in this lovely thing where you're like, have you seen that? Have you seen this? And you're just like, fucking right, on the same level. And we're in another time of revolution right now, right? Revolutions happened in the past because there was no TVs, lattes, beers, um, Netflix, everything to distract us, right? They happened in the 18th century and whatever, and back when there was nothing to do except make more kids die and start a revolution. But now we're in a time where there's no movies, there's fuck all television. You can't go to the park, you can't go on the jet ski. You have to be focused now. And even people who never watch the news are watching the news for the first time ever. And so everyone's focused, just like in the 60s, 69, everyone was focused on the Vietnam War because the media was on the Vietnam War and there was a prescription that every young man had to go. This is another moment like this, that totalitarian regimes and climate change and all these issues, people are focusing on that. They're not thinking about who they're going to shag next or when they're going to go to the bar or a football match. There's no distractions. Everyone's present. So if you have a thing now, a strike, a political agenda, anything you want to change the world for the better, you have everyone's attention now. So the media knows that and has a lot of control now because in some countries the media is the only thing that's allowed to walk about. So, like for example, there's rent strikes all over America, but you don't see that. You only see like Trump, open up America rallies. You know that oligarch sponsored. You know, I don't think any of these oligarchs are going to be working in the places. They just want their investments sorted. You know, so what I'm trying to say is that we need documentaries to shine the light and keep people's attention. The way people's attention are on the world problems now, we need documentaries to bring people away from what they're doing. Say, I'm thinking about women, beer, having the crack, friends, unemployment. A documentary focuses you back on to actually here's these 5 key issues. We haven't solved them yet. And then those are those are the ones I think are important documentaries, the ones that do with systems, a crisis that's happening, and then in order to show people it, you need to do the right story arc. And in the news, you've only got a small amount of time to do it. Where in a documentary, you've got a total hour to achieve. So you feel connected to the characters and you see how their life is. So you get bought into their story arc. So then whenever you see the bad things happen, it very upsets you. Whereas the news just lands you in something and you don't have time to get emotionally connected to the characters. Whereas documentary, you do have time to get emotionally connected to the characters. So it's important for that because news never gives you that time. So it keeps everyone focused. It gives you time to get connected to people's stories, therefore the issues, because you can't handle a big issue. It needs to be packaged in a way of people's stories. We understand someone's story because we're all people, but understanding an issue, that's huge. So it needs to be packaged the right way, and documentaries give you time. It's focused. Excuse me. It's focus. It focuses people's minds back on things. And for an example, that Tiger King almost like he Trump's the asking for a pardon just because of that everyone's watching that, and Trump needs good ratings before an election, so he might get pardoned. So documentaries can change things. That Blackfish documentary, like they destroyed SeaWorld. And there's loads of documentaries, dispatches, all these ones, because if you've chosen to watch it, that's someone giving an hour out of their precious time, because there's time's limited on Earth, and there's only so much attention. So you've got to optimize your attention, and you've only got so much of your brain you really want to use on serious stuff. The rest you just want to watch cat videos. So if someone's giving you that wee space in their brain, that's amazing. God. What are we gonna do? Will documentaries change the world? People think comedy can change the world. That George Carlin said. Everyone's seen that. That was he got investigated by the CIA for doing that set. But yeah, no music. A lot of music nearly changed the world. Whenever like Fight the Power in the 90s by NWA or whatever it was, and there was riots after that because it woke up black people to what was going on. But yeah, so art can express and harness ideas and package it in the right form for you to understand it and process it. It's very important. But anyway, enough of my chat. I'm going to carry on with my night and leave documentaries to another time.